Hello, this is Steve Harris. It is June 19th, 2013, and I am going to go through step by step how I am assembling the Luminodes, attaching the triac, the enclosure, and everything. So, we'll start with the triac. So then, what I'm going to do with the triac is I'm going to cut down the leads so they're only about a centimeter long. So let's see here. There we go. So now I've cut them down so they're about a centimeter long, and then I'm going to bend them up right at the end where it is fat. Oh, is it gonna? I'm going to bend it so it's at a right angle, like so. And then I'm going to attach it to the metal plate. So the hole in the metal plate where it needs to be riveted seems to be a little small, so I kind of work it a little bit with some sort of awl. And then I grab a oh, no, actually out of order. We need to put a thermal pad on. Very important. So line that up. Put that on just like so. Then I'm going to take a rivet. These are steel rivets. I also have aluminum rivets that I use elsewhere, but the steel ones seem to work better for the triac. So put that in there. Come on. And then grab my rivet tool. And just like in the other video that I made, we will now rivet it. Keeping in mind that there's the one end that has a little dimple, and there's another end part that does not. The part that does not have the dimple goes on the rounded end. The dimple fits into the other end, and we give it a good, make sure it stays lined up. Give it a good squeeze without doing it too hard. Oh, damn it. I did it too hard. I broke the triac, so I need to start over. So, get another triac. Cut it off. About a centimeter, and fold it up at the where it changes from fat to skinny. Get another plate. Put the thermal pad on. Make the hole a little bigger. Take the rivet to the triac through there. See, I've got the smooth head there. The end to be deformed is poking through there. Take the rivet tool. Loose. I guess we don't look gunshot. There we go. Now that's on there snug, not damaged. The Luminode main board, line it up so that the triac leads go through the holes. Come on. Okay, so now it's in there, but it's all kind of loose. I made these little spacers just out of wire ties, and I tuck them in between the board and the plate just to keep it sort of steady, and spacers on the side just to keep it steady while I solder. So now, take my soldering iron, Alright, so now take my spacers out, and I can look through and make sure my holes are lined up, which they seem to be. I can make minor adjustments by just sort of pushing on it. Then I take the long screws and get them started through the plate and have them just poke up just a little bit on the other side of the plate. And then I take my, oh, here they are, spacers. We've got, oh, there we go, spacer, and I just reach it in there, put it on top of the screw and kind of feed it through a bit, and then repeat it for the other one. Yeah, there's my spacer. Put it on there, feed it through, and eventually it comes up through the PCB. Okay, so now the screws are coming up through the PCB, spacers are in place. Now I will take the spacer. Now there's a potential issue on here, so if you look, so this little loop right here where the black wire goes through, oh, make sure that's in focus. So that little guy right there. Sometimes it bumps into this coil here. So I think we might need to mod the tool, mod the mold for this a little bit, just to remove the little tip of it there. There. So now you can see I sort of notched that chunk out of there. So now I feed these through. Just make sure the black wire slips in there. And everything goes down in place. And then we screw these in. I put on my bead, ferrite bead, there. Take the daughter board, put it on the riser like so. Take the back cover, put screw on the back. Okay, and now face plate. This part you probably are already pretty familiar. I'll do it anyway. Put the plungers in. All the way in. Snap the rocker in place. Make sure that it moves, which it does. Put this in place for the light pipe and the air gap switch button. Put it in place. It seems like a good fit. Alright, make sure the buttons work. They do, feels good, and the air gap switch button works. Sometimes if you can tell that it does it, it'll just sort of click once and toggle back and forth. You can loosen the screws slightly to give it a little more play, but this one works really nicely. And then need to attach the grounding lead here, which goes in here. That hole tends to be a little small like the other one. And then here I use an aluminum rivet because it's going through, it's a little thinner than with the triac, and then so the aluminum can get squished more. So let's see here. Oops. And this we can just do really hard. And then it's on there. Well, I should do it even a little harder. There we go, good and snug. There we go, it's all assembled. Ready to go.